Hi guys, and welcome to my latest video. I thought I'd make another quick tips video for people that are just starting out in reselling and are looking to save a little bit of time. It's quite a specific tip, but it's one that can come in quite handy. Now, a lot of people that will start out reselling, especially if they're into their video games, one thing that they will see an abundance of at both boot fairs and charity shops, just out and about generally, one of the video gaming items that you do see an awful lot of, and I can testify to this because I've got a drawer full of them, is PlayStation 1 slash PlayStation 2 controllers. So whether they be this one, which is like a dual shock version, or there's like or the regular old style PS1 without the analog sticks. But anyway, you're likely to see a lot of these out and about when you're at the boot fairs and elsewhere, or if you're buying bundles or whatever. Now, one of the most annoying things about these is, even though they are brilliant to flip, because most of the time you're going to be paying pound for them, 50 pence for them, £2 if you're unlucky, but they sell for decent money depending on the condition. You can get comfortably about £10 a controller, sometimes even more if you've got a really good example of one. So such as this, you can see the rubber is in fantastic condition. It's not perished on the thumbsticks there, so really good example of a controller, and that will fetch a little bit more money. Now, one of the things that I think is a nightmare when it comes to these is how long it can take to test them. Now, you've got a couple of scenarios. Either you have a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 always set up with a game that you like to test the buttons with, where you can go into the menus and test the buttons, and every time you get a controller or a batch of controllers, you have to kind of just sit there and test it on the console, which can be slow and cumbersome, and plus it means having a console ready. And you might not have a console at all. You might just have picked up a controller, because often you will see these on their own without consoles. You may not want to bother with the consoles. These are nice and easy to post. So what I have done and I found to be fantastic is pick up a PlayStation adapter now for your PC. Now, this is what it looks like. This is a really cheap example of it. You can actually get adapters like this which can not only connect to PlayStation pads, but can also connect to Sega Saturn and N64 pads as well, and you can just hook the other end via USB into your PC, and you'll be able to do the same thing but with a bigger range. But I thought I'd test the water, and I paid £3 I think, or £2.80 something, and this came all the way from like Hong Kong for like £2.80, so pretty amazing. So you just plug it into your USB, and you hook the PlayStation. I can actually show you. Let me just show you. Sorry about that noise if you hear it. So you can see that there's the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 connector, and you can see that it's got a female version there. Stick it in there, bam, and then that end USB into any USB socket on your PC. Now, when you plug it in, a little LED shines to let you know that it has been connected. Now, the cool thing about this though is how quickly and easily you can test your controller, every button, without messing around. So what I'm going to do is just switch you guys over to like the webcam and monitor mode. Hopefully it will work. Yes, it has. Brilliant. So if you go into control panel on your computer, once you've hook this up to your computer, you'll see it'll pop up. Now, this is called the twin USB joystick. So what I will do, I can see it there, so you can see I've got an Xbox 360 controller for Windows connected to the PC at the moment as well. So anything that I've got connected, so my webcam, my monitors, you can see my keyboard there, everything like that. Now, you just right click on the twin USB joystick adapter. That's what I've got, and you can see an option is there called game controller settings. Now you click on that and you select one of the two ports, which depending on which one you've got it plugged into. So I think I've got it plugged into this one, so it's twin USB vibration gamepad, and then you press properties. Now when you press properties, this little box pops up. Now the cool thing about this box is depending on what button I press, something should light up or move, and that will tell me that it's working. Actually, I think it's this one here. Let's go to properties. Now, if I press a button, you can see that a light is lighting up on the properties window on my PC. So without any effort whatsoever, I can just quickly go through all of the, and you can test the thumbsticks as well. You can test the start and select button, and sometimes certain games don't fully support the analog sticks, or that you might not have like a setup to easily do it, and even then loading up a game itself is slow. Whereas if you've got your PC hooked up, like PC always on because you list on it or whatever, or your laptop always on because you list on it, a USB game adapter is a great thing to buy, and especially when it's so cheap. I mean, this thing only does PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 pads, but that's what I find the most of. I don't tend to find loads of Nintendo 64 pads, unfortunately, or GameCube pads. You don't tend to find those as regularly as you find these ones here. So you can quickly test if it's working, and in this case you can see this pad is fully functional, all the trigger buttons. So if I press square, that's number 4. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are, as long as something lights up on screen, you know that your pad is working. And then as long as when you move your stick around, your right stick, your left stick, your analog, as long as you can do that and you can see that everything is corresponding, your controller is working. Now that is a much quicker way. Imagine if you've got like 10 of these to rifle through. You can quickly just zip through that, test every single button without having to mess around on an actual PlayStation, trying to do that on an actual game. So personally, I think this is a great little tip. I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, leave a comment and a thumbs up, it's much appreciated. It's a nice little tip, like I said, and it will help you guys just test out your PlayStation controllers quickly and efficiently without having to have a PlayStation, and with for the cost of £2.80 odd is what I paid for mine. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching.